Hey everyone, how are you guys? Today I'm going to show you how to make a vegan cheesecake using one of my OG favorite childhood products, tofu cream cheese. Normally these cost a fortune here in Singapore, but they were on sale because they're on the verge of expiring. So we got them for about 6 Singapore dollars each. Normally they go for almost 20 Singapore dollars. So 6 Singapore dollars is like 4 US dollars and 50 cents. So I'm going to show you how to make a Southeast Asian citrus inspired cheesecake using tofu cream cheese. Come with me and I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so I'm going to start by making the crumb crust for the cheesecake. And I'm going to be, instead of using the traditional graham crackers, which to be honest I've never really seen here in Singapore and Southeast Asia, I'm going to be using Lotus Biscoff cookies, which my husband adores. My husband is Belgian. And here, unfortunately, they come packaged in these tiny little plastic wrap packages to keep the humidity out. Everything goes stale really quickly here in Southeast Asia. So what I'm going to do is spend some time kind of unshelling, so to speak, these. And I'm going to put them in my mini food processor, blitz them up, and I'm going to get about 1.5 cups of the Lotus cracker crumbs. Then I have 1/4 cup of regular old sugar and about 5 tablespoons of vegan butter. I'm using Earth Balance today, which I've melted in the microwave. And then I'll mix them all up in my cute little homemade ceramic Christmas bowl, which I made myself at the studio. And that'll go into the oven for about 10 minutes or so at 350 Fahrenheit, 175-ish Celsius, to then get everything ready for the cheesecake. Alright guys, let me show you my amazing spice cabinet. I did this is my pandemic project, or one of them. Look, I have the vegan spices, Japanese, East Asian, South Asian, baking stuff, Middle Eastern stuff, and Mediterranean stuff, and I can't even read that, it's smeared off. But look what I did. Isn't it just amazing? Ugh. Orgasm. Anyway, I'm coming in here for the cinnamon. Alright, so here's my springform pan. I basically just buttered the inside and I put a very, very messy circle at the bottom just to kind of keep things from sticking. Sometimes vegan things stick a little bit more than non-vegan things. Also, my pan is super, super old from the undergraduate college days. I also put a little bit of foil around the outside, and I did that to prevent any leakage from the cheesecake batter so that my oven won't smoke. Alright, here it is. I'll pop it into the oven for about 10 minutes or so at 350, and then I will take it out and let it cool. Alright, so what makes this cheesecake different from a typical New York cheesecake is that we are adding a little Southeast Asian citrusy twist. So I will be using these teeny weeny Calamansi limes. You can see they're just the size of a marble or so. And I'm going to get about 2 tablespoons, hopefully, of juice from these guys, as well as some zest. So I'm going to try to do that. It's much more tedious to do that with these teeny little ones, so I'll see how that goes. And I'm going to be using my little mini juicer from my mother, which will now come in handy for these teeny limes. Alright, so I've just zested all of these little Calamansi, maybe about 25, but they didn't even produce even half a tablespoon of zest. So I'm going to bring out the big guns, and I have a backup lemon. You can see how big this guy is relative to this teeny guy, so I'm just going to finish up zesting this to get 2 tablespoons of zest total. Alright, so I finally got 2 tablespoons of calamansi juice and about 1 combined tablespoon of, I basically zested all of those, like 25 calamansi, 1 gigantic lemon, and 1 regular lime. You can see how yellow the flesh is of these cute little calamansi. They're very, very seedy. And the great thing about this recipe is that there's always way more juice than zest. So I'm going to make a calamansi limeade with the extra, about 2 tablespoons of juice that I have here. Alright, so I'm going to combine everything together. I finally have all of the calamansi, super annoying, all zested and juiced right over here. And I'm gonna combine everything together to make my cream cheese filling. So here I have 3 room temperature, Southeast Asian room temperature tubs of cream cheese for toffuti. And you can do this in a food processor, but I don't really want to wash the food processor, so I'm just going to do it over here. And what I have here are the equivalent of 3 eggs made with Energy Egg Replacer, which you guys have seen before. Super vintage. It comes in a powder, and you just mix it with water. So I think it's 4.5 teaspoons of the powder to 6 tablespoons of the water, and it kind of looks like, I'll have a great setup here, kind of like this. So that's gonna go right in to the cream cheese, and then I have a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extracts, which you can't really see, but that's gonna go in as well. Then I have 1 cup of regular old white granulated sugar. That's gonna go in too. And then I'm gonna save the lime zest and lime juice for after I cream everything together by hand, just so I don't smash up the little zests. All right, so here it is. Everything's all mixed up together, nice and creamy, very limey. And so I'm gonna scoop this into my cooled speculoos crust, and then I'm gonna pop it back into the oven for maybe 40-35 minutes or so. Also at 350 Fahrenheit or 175, 177-ish and a half Celsius. So I'll see you back for that. Here is my cold baked speculoos crust. A little bit rustic looking. The mini food processor doesn't do a great job of grinding everything up super fine, but that's okay. We like a rustic look. We like crunch. Right, here it goes. Limey, limey, limey. All right, so it's all in the springform pan, and because there are no eggs in this, you can do this. And you can't do that if there are eggs in it, right? All right, so my cheesecake is out of the oven. It needed quite a bit longer than I had thought. Almost 50 minutes or so, a little bit longer even. And then when I took it out, it wasn't quite set. It's always kind of hard to tell with vegan cooking sometimes, like it sets up after it comes out of the oven. I'll show it to you. So I put it in for 10 more minutes, and then I think I kind of like somewhat burnt it a little bit. That's okay, because I think that's a new trend in Asia now to have burnt cheesecake. So it's semi-burnt cheesecake, but still very tasty. So this has to go into the fridge for overnight. So I'm gonna do that. And tomorrow is my last day of teaching for the semester and for the whole year. So I will eat a slice of this tomorrow to celebrate the end of my term. All right, thank you. All right, so here is the cheesecake. It is chilled in the fridge for almost a full day. You can see I kind of burnt it, so now it kind of has like a quiche vibe, but I think it'll still taste good. You can see all the little lime flecks from the zest. So I'm gonna cut it and plate it up. All right, so here is my vegan cheesecake, and I'm serving it with a little bit of blueberries. And I'm very, very pleased with the way it looks. It looks amazing. And actually the burnt crust, Bart said, makes it look not vegan, so it makes it look even cooler. All right, so I'm gonna give it a try. First, the creaminess really hits you, and the speculoos spice from the crust hits you, and then the lime actually kind of hits you. And I think calamansi is much more subtle than regular lemon juice, and I like it. It kind of has like a tropical twist that goes quite nicely with the spice of the crust, don't you think? Mm-hmm. And really, this is such a good recipe. Nobody would know that this is vegan.
Mm. Mm, 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 mm. 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 Mm, mm, mm. This is so good. I haven't made this in years because tofuti is just so prohibitively expensive here. So it was great that we chanced upon this huge stack of tofuti that was on clearance. Mm, 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 mm. Bart, how do you find the calamansi lime cheesecake?
It's really good. It's even better than I remembered.
Even better than he remembered. Mm, mm, mm. Mm. Tofuti is a very old school vegan product. We used it when my dad was vegan way back in the olden days. It is not a healthy product. It's highly processed, but once in a while you have to treat yourself to cheesecake. So check it out. Check out Clean Patrick or Joe's recipe for cheesecake in the joy of vegan baking, which I showed you in my last video. I use that recipe as a kind of base for this calamansi and speculoos crust cheesecake. Everything I made from that book has come out amazing. Nothing has disappointed me. They're all tried and true recipes. So I'll link her book in the description box below, and soon you can enjoy this amazing cheesecake too. That was so good. I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased. It's better than real cheesecake, I promise you. And I love the calamansi twist. All of that super annoying juicing that took forever was worth it. It really gave it like a tropical floral twist. So definitely check it out. And I thought this was a really fun way to celebrate my last day of classes for the term and for the year. Hopefully, next term, January 2022, I'll be back physically in the classroom for the first time in 2 years. But of course, we never really know. All right, thanks. Aloha.
All right, so tell us about this drink that you're raving about.
So I made a cocktail with white rum, calamansi juice, orange bitters, and a little bit of Cointreau. And I didn't measure anything. I just eyeballed it. It actually came out pretty good.
See, this is the benefit of having the extra citrus juice for making this recipe. You can always have a calamansi, rum, bitters.
This is really good, actually.
Yeah.